Hi, class. Welcome to week 5 in Introduction to Psychology. This week, we will be focusing on social psychology and better understanding a lot of core social psychology concepts that we've studied in research, which is really sort of our relationship to others and how others can influence our behaviors, our beliefs, our attitudes, and our our expression of emotions. It's pretty fascinating, some of the social psychology concepts that we've studied over the years and how we still see these come up day to day now. And we'll be learning a little more about some of the most popular personality theories of development. For example, the Big Five, just to name a larger, more well-known mainstream one that we'll be delving into in more depth in our assignment this week. As usual, in general, Wednesday night at midnight, we hope you have all your knowledge path learning complete and that you've posted your original discussion board post, including research and literature. And then by Sunday night, you're going to respond to your peers' posts and submit your assignment. Again, if there's any questions about the format and what's expected, please let me know. We have 2 more weeks after this week of this class, so we're really kind of moving right along and over the midway point. I think your discussion board post is really interesting this week. I'd like you to have fun with this. We're asking you to choose a recent current event or trend, a social phenomena, something that sort of gained popularity and traction over the last couple of years in the media. And we list some examples that you could choose from, or something else that's of interest to you. It's something that gained popularity, a phenomenon socially, and I want you to describe sort of what drew you to choosing that, and then use 2 well-known core concepts from social psychology to help you describe how and why this phenomena or current event or trend might have gained so much popularity and traction. For example, you could talk about conformity or groupthink or diffusion of responsibility, social norms, stereotypes, bystander effect, just to name a few. There's some really interesting social psychology concepts that we're delving into. And then go into a little more depth towards the end of your post too, describing sort of how these concepts might help us look at this with more depth and have more meaning behind why it might have become so important to people to respond in this way to the phenomena or current trend. Why maybe at first glance, some of the nuances to this and other ways of looking and perceiving this might not be so obvious. And how we might prepare or predict or plan for in the future to not get swept away in a social phenomena like this, or prepare for not getting so swept away with a social phenomena like this. And then another fun assignment, or your assignment is also, I think, kind of more fun and creative, if you will. You get to choose either a celebrity of interest to you or a fictional character from film, TV, literature, could be a book, someone pretty famous, we want you to apply Costa and McRae's 5-factor model, or the Big Five, to their personality, and take a stab at describing where they may fall on the spectrum with those 5 personality traits. So we're looking at openness. Are they really open, or are they less open in their personality? Are they conscientious, or are they not very conscientious? Extrovert, introvert, more agreeable, less agreeable, more neurotic or less neurotic? We find they've collapsed many different personality traits, 16 or more, from Eisner down to 5, that they believe you can really sort of, the comparison of all 5 on the spectrum, really help us identify someone's core personality trait and styles. So try to take a stab at, and you can elaborate or, add to your understanding and go into more depth with, including more information, whether it's true or not, to help you. But we want some examples and behaviors to kind of support your determination of where they might fall on the Big Five. And then utilize 2 the personality theories to apply to this personality. So, for example, you might use Rogers' humanistic and you might use Jung's psychodynamic. So, a particular theorist's theory of personality, and they're going to take at least 5 core concepts from their theory to apply to this celebrity or historical figure or fictional character from a film or TV or movie that you like, to go into more depth with describing what might have led to this personality style and what kind of experiences and influences and might have led them to fall where they fall on the big 5. And then compare the 2 theories in a little bit of depth in how they approach looking at this personality and this character, and how there's similarities or differences between the 2 lenses. I hope you have fun with these assignments and exercises this week. I think it's a great way to apply your knowledge more outside of the box, and being able to sort of choose concepts or theories or characters that of interest to you might help make it a little more enjoyable, hopefully, and have you want to go into more depth and elaborate more in your assignments. Please, again, review the grading rubrics to make sure you're reaching as many points as possible in the grading for your assignments and discussion board posts. And please don't forget to include literature. Including videos and are okay, but not only videos or even websites. Some websites are lovely and actually include real empirical research, but I would rather that you cite the original studies and go to those original studies to learn about the true findings and research methods of what you're including. So it's important to have at least 1 or 2 real original sources when you're citing a paper or PowerPoint presentation or assignment here. Many of you are doing this well, and some are not including enough literature. Please don't forget, again, there are free tutors and support that can be provided from tutors, as well as you could gain more support from your academic advisor. But we're really happy to support you through this learning journey. And only a couple more weeks left, so we're almost there. Don't hesitate to email me with any questions, and you'll have another video from me as well next week. Take care. Thank you. Bye.